Good morning S1 and welcome to your 9th Bertha Park English Department distance learning lesson. Just as a reminder, a few weeks ago you did your RUI revision and your assessment, and we're going to go back to RUI soon, so don't worry if you've been missing it. Then we have been looking at writing a biography and our research skills. After that, we then looked at our language and register when we're writing our biography, and if you'll remember, we all agreed that formal register was better. We also talked about using your own words. And this week, I'm going to go over the success criteria and the form in which I want your biography to be written. First of all, though, we'll go on to our word challenge again. Hopefully that's been quite fun compared to just the handwriting spelling, but we can always go back to that if that was more useful. So for this time, I want you to press play, and the game I want you to play this time is called Adjectives and Adverbs. So by the end of this game, hopefully you'll know what those are. As per usual, I want you to log your score and the date, and the name of the game is Adjectives and Adverbs. So pause the video, do that now. Moving on then to our main lesson, and we are going to discuss how we're going to write our sports biographies. Now, you have done all of your research and you have put your research under headings, 3 of which you made up on your own. So if you've already done that, then you should be looking at working roughly within level 3 for this task, because you've created your own headings, you've looked up your own information, and you've started to skim and scan to see what information you're going to use. I'm going to talk you through now, though, the format in which I want you to write your biography. We are going to look at how to actually create a SWAY, just from scratch. I know some of you will know how to do this already, but I just want to make sure that everyone knows exactly what to do and how to do it. First thing you need to do is log into Office 365. Now you can either do that through Glow, or you could actually go into Office 365 and just sign in using your Glow credentials. Totally up to you. I'm going in through Glow. Once you're there, I then want you to click the button for SWAY. And I want you to have a new blank SWAY, okay? Right, the first thing I just want you to show you is the background bit. So if you click on background, now because you're doing famous people, you're more likely to have pictures from the internet. Now if you use this, it means that it gives you pictures that you're actually allowed to take, okay? So say I wanted to do Jessica Ennis-Hill just because I've just been looking at her the whole time, might as well stick with that theme. There we go. So say I want this one. I just hit add, and there we go. And then my title is Jessica Ennis. Oh. Okay. Then I want you to add in a heading for every one of your sections. So you should have 5 headings, okay? So say this one was personal achievements. Right. And again, I might want to add in that one now. Okay. Then I would add in my text. And remember, I am going to put information into my own words. Mrs. Hamilton will notice if I just copy and paste, and she will ask me to resubmit if I do. Obviously, you would be writing about the sports person. Okay. Remember I told you that it's really important to have your references as part of all this. Now, if we were to do Word, we would just have a list of references and it would look quite boring. However, this is much cooler because you can add in a link, okay? But my text, I might just put reference 1. Or I could put the name of the person that wrote it if I know who the name of the author is. And then I would add in my URL. Now obviously you could copy and paste, but I'm clearly making one up on the spot. Blah 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 blah.co.uk. Clearly made up. Imagine that was a real website, that'd be quite funny. Okay, click OK. And so then I've put my information into my own words, and then I've got a wee reference at the end of it called reference 1. Then you could do things like a stack of images, for example. So group stack, add content. Add. Oh no, I want it in here. Oh, that is right. Add. Add. So I'm just showing you various different things that you could do. Right, close that. So you're thinking this looks a bit naff at the moment. However, then you press, so you're in storyline just now, then you press, so if you look up the top left hand side, you're in storyline, but then we want to press design. Okay, so this has already put it into some kind of design for me, and it's stacked the pictures up, so it's starting to look quite cool. However, I can go into styles. So at the moment it's like a website, which is my favourite, but it's totally up to you what you'd prefer. Or you could go horizontal, have it like one of those fancy brochures you see online. You could change, I'm going to stick to vertical because I just prefer it. So you could go through different styles. That's quite nice. That's quite nice, isn't it? Okay, or if you want, you could do all that and go, oh, I really don't like any of these. Give me some ideas, please, sweet, and hit remix. Ooh, it's gone a bit fancy. And you can keep hitting remix if you want till you get one that you like. Right, then once you're done, I then want you to hit share, okay? Now, if you're happy for me to share this with other people because I think it's fabulous, then change it to anyone with the link. If you only want me to see it, stick it with those in your organisation with the link. Then get the visual link, copy, and then when you are uploading your assignment and it asks you, you can upload the link to your sway. And that is how I want you to do your sway. Success criteria then. This is your checklist, and I'll put this checklist in your OneNote as well if it helps you. It must be on Microsoft Sway. You must write using formal English. I don't want to see words like gonna, okay? She's gonna do that. No, okay, going to. I also don't want to see phrases like should have and could have, okay? It's should have and could have. Formal English. You must make sure that everything is in your own words, that you have at least 5 different sections and headings. You can obviously add another section if you want to. I'm not going to stop you, but no fewer than 5. It'd be lovely for you to have as many pictures as possible. And now this is the biggie. And if you don't have this in here, I will ask you to resubmit. I want to see references, the URLs, okay? I need you to get into this habit now so that when you're in senior phase, you don't get caught out. The rubric then I'll be using when I am marking is such. Now, I think for almost all of us, we could just focus on level 3, okay, or 4. So the first thing I want to think about is you've got to be able to select relevant ideas and information, including appropriate supporting detail or evidence. So if you were doing Jessica Ennis Hill, you can't just say, aye, she's great at sports. You've got to have the evidence, okay? Now this one should be easy to get, especially if you're using Sway. Select features of layout and presentation, including in digital text, to clarify meaning and suit purpose and audience. For example, headings, bullet points, text boxes, and or relevant graphics. That should be no problem when you're using this particular, is it software? I'm sure one of you will correct me because I'm sure it's probably not, but you know what I mean. And then the next one is just as important, and probably you'll need to focus on this, so he's not going to just help you with this. Write almost all sentences in a grammatically accurate way. Use a variety of sentence structures, varying openings and lengths, so you do need a lot of information. I don't just want to see little tiny sentences in each section. Roughly speaking, although I'm not going to ask you for a word count, I would expect you to end up writing at least 500 words, okay? Uses paragraphs effectively to structure content. Now that one will come when whenever you've got a new paragraph, pick a new text box, okay? Because when you're then putting it into design, you'll see that it just then naturally turns into paragraphs, okay? Uses linking sentences and topic sentences as appropriate to signpost a basic structure, line of thought or argument. Writes in a fluent and legible way, edits and revises meaning to ensure clarity of meaning, technical accuracy, and to improve content or language. And finally, acknowledges and references sources appropriately. In other words, you have to say when information was not found out just solely by you. If you look something up on the internet, you have to have the link to show where you found it. Okay? I will be super proud if you manage to do this, and most annoyed if after all me banging on about references, if you then don't put them in, okay? It's so important that you get into good habits now. But if you're unsure, remember I'm always here to help. And that's us. Nice short one today.